Hello to all you yids out there. This is the Heart Now Here Spurs Fans Podcast, a podcast for a bunch of yids to all you yids around the world. And it is a pretty time to be a Spurs fan, isn't it? It's a beautiful time to be a Spurs fan. We're champions of Europe. We're unbeaten in the league. We've gone to City and we showed them what's what. It's myself, Lee Tarrier, Kevin Dennis, as always, and returning the prodigal son, TJ Smith. How are you, bruv? You all right?
Yeah, mate. Got a slight colour, but with the boys, and we took the boys away, and feel rejuvenated, mate. Feel ready to crack on with Spurs this season, and it's been fucking sick so far.
Oh, mate, where'd you go?
So obviously we had the wedding, and then about a month later, we had like a mini moon. So like my mate got married in Cyprus. Yeah. So we went out there like about 3 or 4 days early before the wedding, and then just had like a bit of time to ourselves, me and the missus, the wife. And we done the wedding, and then we come back, and then we did. Well, we got triplets. So I tell this to people and they can't believe it, but we can't even get on a plane with them because they're to be fair, they're 2 next week. But right. Before that, you have to have an adult per child because they have to sit on your lap. So I literally can't even take my kids on holiday because the planes won't let me take them. it's insane. So we did a traditional caravan holiday, like the static caravans, mate. And, yeah, mate, it was good. It was really good. Like the kids absolutely loved it. I mean, it weren't much of a holiday for me and the missus. We fucking chasing the kids around the caravan all for a week and a bit. But it was good, mate. I'm just life's good at the moment, man. Can't complain. Especially with Spurs.
Oh, mate, that's nice to hear. And, you know, it is very good with Spurs. And what was very good to see was on our Heart Now Here socials. If you're watching live now, you'll obviously have seen main man here, Kevin Dennis, on a coach, 4:30 in the morning, on the was it a Peroni, Kev? It was a Peroni, wasn't it, in your hand?
I think I was drinking Coronas, actually.
Bloody Corona.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of, I don't really like drinking out of cans. Never have done. I'm more of a, if I'm on buses or trains or whatever, having a beer with Spurs, I like to go on bottles. So I do like a Corona. It's a nice smooth lager.
Well, it was smooth lager at a smooth time in the morning, mate. And tell us, mate, what happened? I know you said it was going to be a big bank holiday. How'd it all play out?
Yeah, listen, it was a great trip. Nice to do them early ones. I mean, I do try and make an habit of going to them first away ones because you sort of never know what you're going to get. It's quite an exciting one. There's no sort of form. And obviously, like years gone by since we've been doing this pod, TJ's always been the positive one about going up to City, and I've always been the negative one. So I thought, early in the season, I fancy going up there and seeing what we're about. And obviously, with the previous results of PSG, Burnley, I thought, we could go out there in quite high spirits and hopefully get something. But yeah, probably the first time where I thought we could actually go up there and get something. So I was pretty positive going up there. I was looking forward to it, excited to go there. Not been City away for a while. And like I said last week, I haven't been on a minibus for a long time. So that was good. Turned up a fucking hour late. Scared us a bit. But we got on the road about, I think we got on the road about 10 to 6 in the end.
Why were you late?
I don't know. Enfield Town Station was the meet at 5 o'clock. Fucking hell, drunk half a case of lagers for the fucking minibus turned up, I think. So he turned up, and then then we was just bang straight on it all the way up there. And I think we got up there in good time, probably about 9:30, 10. So we had a couple of hours drinking before we got to the ground as well. So positive spirits. Not really a fan of the early kickoffs. I think Spurs in years gone by have not been great with early kickoffs, and sometimes it's a bit early for the fans, because no one's really had a good beer and all that. But I turned up in a Witherspoon in Manchester, Piccadilly, about 10:30, and it was fucking heaving in there. I think everyone was excited, and everyone fancied getting something up there. It just went from strength to strength after that. In terms of getting in there and having a good beer before. Was seated next to one of my good mates, Andy Saul, who a lot of people know. He was behind me. So, a really, really good day. And I'm sure we'll get onto the performance. But, yeah, a great trip.
Yeah, I mean, how many piss breaks before you got there?
Do you know what? It weren't too bad, I don't think. A couple of services. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think we was quite eager to get up there. It could have been about 3 or 4, but not too bad. There was fucking plenty on the way
Well,
back, though, I can tell you that.
Newcastle away. We might. It's a what is it, like a 6-hour journey? It took us fucking 8 hours because everyone just stopped for pissing every 10 minutes.
Yeah, there was a lot of us on that bus. Though. There weren't as many. How many was on our bus? 1, 2. There was about 10, I think, on our one, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah, no one really needed a piss too bad. It's one of them ones. I'm like, if once I pop my seal, I'll need to keep going if I'm drinking.
That's
it's
it.
about it's that strategic thing of holding in your first piss on a big journey like that, and you'll be all right for a bit. But once you pop early, mate, that's it, game over. Especially with my bladder, anyway. But yeah, just a really good trip up, nice smooth journey up there as well. So yeah, really good, really good journey up there.
Did it turn into the all-nighter that you expected, getting back down to this area?
Yes. What time I got home, or what time I got
Yeah,
back
like
to the
because I know
area?
you said it was. Well, you said you're going to go out in the area when you got back. Did that happen?
Yeah, I did, mate. I think
Sounds hurt just by the thought of it.
I think the missus looked out the window at 10 to 4, and I just come in the back gate. And I started watering my grass at 10 to 4. So it was I think I counted about a 22 and a half hour bender. So
Hey, listen, Kevin is grass as well, mate. That's believable. He's got grass like fucking White Lane, mate. Honestly,
yeah, I'm really
I've
proud of
seen
my grass.
Yeah,
so
grass is good,
done a spot of gardening when I come in, and then I had to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning for the boys for under 15s, which was quite difficult to do. Drinking a lot of water. It's a hot day on the Sunday as well. Fucking hell, it was really hot.
Well, so it's really hot, yeah.
Sitting there fucking baking as well. So but yeah, all worth it, mate. A really perfect weekend in terms of all that. So yeah, really good. They've done me proud.
Well, like you said, the atmosphere, there was something in the spoons. You said everyone felt that you could get something done. I mean, I haven't seen us look. I know we beat them 4-0 last season under Ange, but I haven't seen us look as comfortable there. What was the mood like in the area? Because I do like it at the Etihad when watching it on TV, because the away fans were always there by that corner in towards like the middle of the goal. Like, what was the atmosphere like from start to finish?
Yeah, mate, it was good. It was really positive. It's like I said, normally it's quite flat, them early kickoffs. I mean, I think Man City as a home fan base are fucking flat no matter what time kickoff is. Really poor support I think they've got down there, up there. So us, yeah, being away fans we are, we was in there and we were fucking buzzing, and I think obviously the goal before the first goal before half time was really set the mood going into half time. And unfortunately, I missed the second one because I was too busy down there fucking singing and dancing and fucking drinking more Asahi. So I miss Palhinha's one, but once them goals went in at half time, the buzz was really there, and then it just carried on through the second half. And I think it was because we were dominant, and I never thought we were in danger in that game. A couple of half chances, but we were really controlled in it. And you know, to go there and not play 5 at the back, 3 centre halves, I was really surprised, and he probably surprised Pep with that as well. So for the way we played, and obviously I was there, and I mean, I've had a few drinks, so I kind of can't get a good gist of to analyse the game properly. It was only when I come back the next day and I rewatched it, I was even more impressed rewatching it back because for how good we was, and when the Monday Night Football starts picking it apart and you start seeing things that you wouldn't notice during the game, and they highlight things, and yeah, it's another Thomas Frank master plan to go into a game and, you know, change things differently in different games to who you're playing to guarantee a points out of the game. So really impressed with it all, to be honest. Really impressed.
And that's the thing, you know, look, we can't get carried away. It's happened before. We were 10 unbeaten under Ange, but you know, we're seeing something here, and we're recording this a few days later, the bank holiday, and we've all been about. But in the sense of just touching the game, TJ, you know, what we're seeing at the moment with Thomas Frank and how he's setting up the team, the organisation, the measured way that we approach attack and defence. What are you impressed with so far?
The thing I'm impressed the most with is how adaptable we are within games. So, like, even during, like, he seems to have this philosophy of in and out of possession, like how we play in and out of possession. They're two separate gameplays. And that for me is like revolutionary. I've seen it a few years ago. Like I see some other managers employ this. I think Tuchel used to do it at Chelsea when he used to when they went into stuff like that. And I just love this catalogue of systems that Thomas Frank has at his disposal. He basically, you can see what he's doing. He looks at the team we're playing, and then he goes to his library of absolute fucking genius game plans and pulls out the one necessary to get the job done. We saw it against PSG, literally just a lack of fitness, I think, there. Like, we just didn't hold out in the end. And then he played a similar game against City with a high press. They could not handle that high press. They were literally, especially like with their keeper playing it out from the back. The fact that and players like Kudus, Richarlison this season, they're revolutionized under these systems because they all of a sudden become this absolute weapon at the top. And I'm not talking about goal scoring. I'm talking about the ability to cut play out early. And yeah, I think Frank has got this. Listen, Andrew's good in terms of he had his own system and he knew how he wanted it to work. And when it worked, it was fire. But the adaptability, and more importantly, the adaptability within games of Frank, I think is immense. But yeah, for me, it's just this whole, like I say, this library that I believe that Thomas Frank has in his mind of game plans that he can just pull out according to the opposition we're playing. And so far, so good. Listen, I'm not getting carried away. Andrew's first 10 games went fucking perfect, didn't they? But like with Thomas Frank at the moment, the thing he's made us is difficult to beat. We haven't conceded a goal. We've gone to City away, haven't conceded. We've played Burnley at home, who had one of the best defenses and scored in the Championship last season. I think they conceded like 30 goals the entire season or something like that. And we've played them at home and scored 3. You know,
I think it was more impressive, Tej, as well, that we've gone to Man City in their fucking opening home game of the season and gone over there and not only beat them but kept the clean sheet. You're right, and basically kept them out of the game, and I think that was like one really impressive factor, I thought, because we have no right really. Listen, I know we've had PSG and we've had Burnley, but you know, there's nothing really wow about Burnley to think we could go out there and dominate the way we did, because we knew we had to play different. But to go up there and keep them quiet, and for me, Haaland's probably one of the best strikers still in Europe, and to keep him quiet, I thought that was really impressive to quieten the place down and totally dominate it. It was crazy.
Yeah, I just think that level of adaptability needs to be applauded. Like, we haven't had that for a while. You had the Jose Mourinho and Conte systems, which were very negative, very like we're gonna try and concede less than what we're gonna than you, basically. That's we're just gonna try and concede as little as possible and try and score the odd one more than you. And then you've got which was the total opposite, which is more like the Tottenham way, you know, free flowing attacking football. But we just were so open at the back. And the thing I love most about this is you've got a couple of new players in, like Kudus, who, by the way, for me, I know it's 3 games in, but he's been the difference in those 3 games for me.
It's great.
What a signing. Paulinho, that is the CDM we've needed. I mean, who was the last one that was just like gave you that sort of feeling? Like maybe Dembele? Like, I don't know. Who even used to play like that? Like, I don't know.
He's the last one I can remember who just breaks up and lets the others play around him.
Who did you say, Lee? Who did you say?
Parker, mate. The way he played with Luka Modric around.
Who? Sorry,
2011. Scott Parker.
Scott Parker. Yeah. Do you know what? I thought Eric Dyer used to do okay under Poch.
He did. Yeah. To be fair,
he was good. Yeah, I thought he weren't too bad. But yeah, you're right. Paulinho is the one who he just gets his foot in when you think he's a big lad as well, but he gets his foot in just at the right times. When you think someone's gone past him, he can just nick a ball and then play as well. So yeah, I think Spurs done great business there, really.
But what I will say as well is that obviously the worry for me is depth. Like we don't have enough. Like the transfer, we're going to get onto the transfers, I know, so I'll leave that for a sec. But the depth is an issue. But the other positive is like this isn't Thomas Frank's team entirely, right? He's inherited this team, which was a Europa League winning team, by the way. So we can't forget that we actually went out there and won a trophy with this team. But then you look at players like Richarlison, who was, you know, surplus to requirements at the end of last season. He's now come out and said that's his main man. He's not the main man up top. and he's proven it as well, like deservedly so. But Richarlison's getting the minutes, and then you've got Sarr, who for me is like reborn. He's the geezer could fucking run marathons. Honestly, it's unbelievable. And then our wing backs, I think Spence and Porro have been phenomenal in this system. I really have. And then obviously, you know, your usuals, Romero, Van de Ven, these guys are all playing well. And you forget we're missing some really key players as well. Madison, Kulusevski.
Do you know what, T? Just where you're highlighting players there. I mean, I come out of that ground and I thought people were going to be, who was the man of the match? People were saying Palhinha. And you know, I kind of thought everyone done okay, everyone done well in that game, everyone as a unit. But when I rewatched it back, Jed Spence was unbelievable in that game. So good. And
he has been in all three though.
Yeah, he has, but he just, I mean, he's so consistent. And how this guy hasn't got an England call up yet, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what more he can do. I mean, unless they don't want to play him out on the left or what, or I mean, I don't know who England got right back now. I suppose it's Trent. He's a better defender than Trent for me. But yeah, for me, when I rewatched that game back, I thought he was unbelievable, Jed Spence. And I mean, new contract, well deserved. But I think Udogie at the moment has a lot of fucking graft to do to make that spot his again. And with Destiny Udogie's injury problems, and he is prone to a mistake, I don't see Spence doesn't make mistakes like Udogie does sometimes, and he stays fit, never gets injured. I mean, I think we're really blessed to have Jed Spence at the moment, and yeah, like I said, I thought he was brilliant the other day, really, really good.
Yeah, I think that. Well, look, that we was going to talk about hot Spurs, and we call it not Spurs now. No one's going to get a not Spurs from that game. Hearing you, Kev, there, hot Spur for Spence is your man of the match. TJ, who would have got your top hot Spur for Saturday's performance?
Do you know what? I mean, I know I've missed the first couple, but I'm struggling to look past players like Kudus. Honestly, I feel like when he's on the pitch, we're a different outfit. Like we're so the press from him and Richie was so good. Like they didn't let him breathe. And I feel like Kudus, when he's on the ball, there's something like you just can't get it off him. He gives me Dembele vibes, like his strength and hold off play. Fantastic. Gives me like he just sort of he manages to hold it up just enough so everyone can get forward, and then like he hunts players down as well. If he stayed like, listen, he was like that in his first season at that little lot over East London, right? But if he kind of tailed off in the second season, I feel like here we match ambition. We're starting to match ambitions in that we're going to be playing in the top level competitions. We're going to be going for trophies. Like I feel like if we can keep him firing like that, he's going to be some player for us, honestly. But like you said, listen, I could name 100 and I could name every single player, because I feel like the one thing that I will say now about Spurs is we play as a unit. Like everyone plays for that system. When you do that high press, it takes one player to fall asleep, and that doesn't work. So every single player was on it for that game. And I just want to say one more thing, Lee, because
go on, mate.
I've been watching the media a lot lately, right? And I feel like I started this saying, and I don't normally claim things like this, but everyone seems to keep saying it now about we've got City's number. And we fucking have.
You said it. You said it for a few years,
I just want to put it on record. Now, I've got Zooms and podcasts of me saying it about 4 years ago, whenever we started it. We've always had their number. We're their bogey team. We're always going to do City.
It's mad, isn't it? We've looked so cut, and this one more comfortable than ever. And that's the beautiful thing. Things are looking great on the pitch. The players, the manager, they're all in sync. We played for our podcast audience. You'll have heard Thomas Frank's words post-match at the start of the podcast, and it's all looking really, really well on the pitch. Now, I was one to do it live last week. I was furious about the Eze transfer. TJ, you were second in that, and you put out a post just over at the start of the weekend. So for all the good stuff that's happening on the pitch, we're 4 days roughly, I think, from the transfer deadline, and things are, as you know, they've gone silent in many ways. There's a name here or there, but nothing's materializing. We heard Savinho a while back. It's not really gone anywhere. I'm hearing it from Simon. It's not really going anywhere. We've talked about the good stuff. What is it about recruitment. Kev, like, how can it? Is it because we started so well that he's probably thinking, well, we've got enough here? What is it that just doesn't gel with a man who said, we want the Premier League, we want the Champions League, yet has not acted in any way, shape, or form to bring that saying to real life?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a case of overspend and worrying about overspending. I mean, what I've seen in common with all these players that we're linked to, they're all kind of around the same price. They're all, you're looking at your 50, 60, can go up to 70 million add-ons. You know, we're never going to go and buy someone for over £100 million. It just ain't the way we do it. I think there's that. I think there's a sign of the kind of players that we're going for. And I think other clubs may know this now and might want to charge a bit more, knowing that we're quite desperate and to sign, I don't know, a 10 or a winger. I mean, it's quite public knowledge now that we're after a centre-back, a winger and a number 10. So I don't know. I think it's hesitancy in his part to maybe overspend on the wrong player. I think it's a lot of fan pressure as well, where we're sort of saying we want someone who's a bit proven. You tried to do that. You didn't do it right. Whatever happened with Eze, we won't know the facts of it, but the facts are that he probably wanted to go to Arsenal regardless. And if he could string Spurs out in any way and wait for Arsenal, especially on the day that they did it, I think he would have done. So, I mean, looking back on it now, I think it should have been done earlier. That is what he'll have to hold his hands up with. But at the time when it was all going to happen, I mean, I don't blame Eze for choosing Arsenal because I know what team I would have chose if I was him as well. Me being a Spurs fan, if it was the other way around. So now they've got to scratch that off. They've got to look for a 10. I mean, this Kulusevski injury is a bit worrying because I'd like to think if he was back soon, they might not be so desperate to bolster in that position. But it don't look too good. So they're going to have to pull something out. I mean, I watched an interview with Frank today where he said he's extremely hopeful of getting at least one in before the window. If it's only 1 out of 3, it is what it is. We have to crack on, and the board will have to look at themselves and think, why didn't they get certain players in over the line? And if we get injuries as the season goes, once the window shuts, and then what Tej was saying there about depth, it'll come back and bite them in the arse again. So I think we have to learn a lot from last year as well in terms of if we get injuries, we're kind of fucked. And I still think we are with players like Romero, Van der Ven. You lose Paulinho, you lose one of your centre forwards. I mean, if you haven't got the depth there, I mean, we've let a lot of young kids go on loan as well. So it's like there isn't much depth there if we get injuries. So we need to bolster, and that's probably why he wants another centre half, needs a 10, wants another winger. How hopeful am I for us to get all 3 in? Extremely doubtful. But they have to get something in. Otherwise, we could set ourselves up for having such a great start, and then it all could go tits up with a few injuries. You know, we will get injuries. So I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we got 2 out of the 3 in, but 3 is probably a tough call to guarantee, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, we'd all say the same thing. We don't want to spend money for the sake of it, but we've outlined targets, and I still think at times, TJ, it's about this chairman not wanting to pay that little bit more to get that player early doors because people do their business. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we got kudos, but outside of that, we've seen loads of teams doing their business early, getting them in for at least halfway through pre-season so they can get them gelled into the side, get them ready for the Premier League. And I know that obviously 2 games in, there's still a lot to play, but we need the players. You know, like if we're going to compete on all fronts, you need the squad and you need a squad of quality. And it just feels like we fall short all the time. Like, is anything ever going to change?
No, is the answer to that. And the reason nothing's going to change is because they always want to get a good deal. When, like, whilst that is something that needs to be considered, you can't be sitting, like you said earlier, you can't be sitting in an interview saying you want to win titles like the Premier League and the Champions League and then have a summer transfer window like we've had. Yes, Kudus is a great buy. Yes, Paulinho is a great loan. But we're only playing 1 game a week. We're in the start of the season where everyone's come off pre-season pretty fit. However, we start playing 2 games a week, 3 games a week in December. Players are going to get injured, right? It happens. Like, you might get a knock or whatever. But look, Saka's out for 4 weeks now. That's going to be a big miss for Arsenal, right? Like, you start losing these players. like if we had the same issue with like Van de Ven, Romero, all of a sudden that assurance of being hard to beat goes out the window. I think the difference between winners and teams that are going to win trophies and teams that are going to compete but not really get there is decisiveness in transfer targets. I genuinely like. If you look, I've looked at this recently, and the history. If you look at teams that have won the league, they have been so decisive in transfer windows, bought early or identified targets and got their targets. Teams that want to win things don't miss out on targets. Listen, I done the post about the Eze thing, and I got a lot of stick. Right, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, but he weighed Arsenal anyway." You know what you're saying is kind of invalid. It's not invalid, and the reason it's not invalid is because, yes, he goes to Arsenal every day of the week. Like Kev said, I'm a Spurs fan. If Spurs and Arsenal ask me who I want to play for, there's no choice. Like, I'd embarrass the other club. That's like, do you know what I mean? There's not absolutely no choice. But it's the lack of decisiveness that allowed that door to be opened in the first place. Do I want Eze in the club now? No, of course not. But what I want is decisiveness in transfers. If we identify a target, why does it take 3 weeks to 4 weeks to turn it around? When Liverpool identify targets and they get it done in a week. Yes, they've got a bigger pool because they're competing for the Premier League, the Champions League, whatever. But we're also in those competitions and we can be in those mixes. Like, for me, this is what I don't understand, right? So the Eze one falls through. You're looking to spend about 55 million plus add-ons, taking up to like 60, 65 million. Savinho's, we went in at 60, right? Why not take 30 million from the Eze transfer and put it on the Savinho one? You know you need to bolster the options. Yes, you're going to pay a lot more than you want to, but you're gonna get a target, one of your targets. You're going to get him in the door.
If they're the right person.
He's a player that will impact the squad as well. I'm not talking about these fucking like kids for the future. We're great at that. Listen, we're great at that. Archie Gray, Mikey Moore come through the academy. Bergval's actually good now, to be fair. Like, he could probably play now. But you've identified these guys that are coming through. But what I struggle with is we're never the team that buys the proven player. It's very rare that we go out and buy the 26, 27-year-old that has been competing at the highest level for a few years and really honed this game. Can't remember the last time we've really done that.
Do you know what it is? I don't know if any of them other clubs you're alluding to there, like your Liverpools and all that, I don't know if their chairman has such a stranglehold on transfers, and I think that might be the difference. It might be the case of, look, I'm going to employ a scout, a director of football, a manager, and they're going to make decisions. If it goes wrong, it's sort of on them. And some chairmans will just go, I'm going to trust whatever I've put in place underneath me, and that's going to work. And I think that's why a lot of people get their targets quicker. With our guy, he wants to know what he's spending on. He's, like we've said before, he's got too much of a nose in the deals for it to fuck about and take ages. And that's when other clubs come in. And I mean, there was a big list there the other day of the players that we've missed out on over the years. And when that list came out the other day, was crazy. And that was a lot of them, 80% of them was because we were sort of dilly-dallying on things. But then if you're Levy and you've put all this money into recruitment and stuff, and people in the directors, you have to trust them. But when you're rubber stamping things and worrying over 2 or 3 million here and there, I don't understand how that works, and you miss out on targets. And I believe that is one major factor why we haven't got the best players in that we should have. And some of these players that we've missed out on in previous years have gone on to do massive things as well. And they could have done that at our club, and we could have been in such a different place right now. But I just don't know if the Man United chairman or the Liverpool chairman or the owners have such a stranglehold on who their manager wants to buy. For me, I personally think that's a big difference between us and them.
Well, that's it. And I mean, we've got Aaron Honey here saying, hi, lads. What's your thoughts on Simmons' links now? Not sure we get a 10 now, to be honest. This is the thing. Like, the
I like him, by the way.
Simmons.
I like him. Not Aaron. I'm only joking. I do like Aaron. I know Aaron. But I like Simmons. I think that is the sort of exciting player we need. I've liked him. I've watched him on the national scene and I've watched him for Leipzig, and I think he's a tidy little footballer. But is he going to do it in England? And that's where we want. That's where I'd want an Eze or someone who knows, or a Paqueta. So I know you can do it over here. And I think that might be Levy's thing of going, well, I don't know if he'll be able to do it. Do I want to go and spend 60, 70 million on another player who I've been told that is great, like an Ndembele or everywhere else? But if your recruitment says he's right for your club and your manager, who you've just employed, says, look, this guy's right for us in the way we want to play, who's leaving to turn around and go, well, no, I don't think we should pay the extra money for it. So that might be the difference.
You've got your scouts. You've got your scouts. You've got your director of football.
I think that's the thing. Like, if you're giving these people that job, that role, that responsibility, you've got to be prepared to spend a bit. Now, if they were saying that, oh, Simmons is 90 million, or these players as a 70, 80 million, that's a lot of money. And like you say, you don't spend it. But if the difference between securing the talent that you want, the talent that you need, that you think you need, is a 5 or 10 million difference, I look at it and go, how can we say no to this when over the years, 5 years especially, how much money have we had to pay out in redundancy or dismissal fees to these managers? How much is Ange getting paid out now? Poch, Jose,
yeah, that's crazy.
Conte,
I agree.
Nuno. We give these 5 to 10 million each time because they're on a mostly 3-year deal, probably around, I know Conte was on serious money. If you're firing him early from a contract, you've got to pay him up, or you've got to settle it with a certain fee. Those difference, like, those kind of fees are probably the difference in us getting Eze's, or, again, like you say, if he doesn't want to be with us, I loved what Frank said. I don't want people here like that. Fair enough. But if it's a difference between getting Vinios and the Simmons.
Also, Lee, I know we speak about, I mean, probably a bit of a broken record about it now, but it's also not being able to sell players. It's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, like, players that, listen, might have been good for a year or two, but if they're not pulling their weight from the last year, or they've been injury prone, once they go out on loan, they seem to do well, but you never be able to sell them. And that's another reason. Why can't we sell these players? Why can't we sell Basuma, who's 2 years in a row now, played up in pre-season, ruined himself for the start of the week by making stupid decisions, but not only that, he's an inconsistent footballer. Why can't we just take a loss and sell him and put that money into a kitty to go and spend an extra 10 million on someone who's, like Man City, who are now wanting more than 70 million for Savinho, if they're even going to think about it. I mean, I wonder where that them sort of thing goes, and then we end up losing players, or you watch Ndombele sit on a contract for fucking 5 years, and as our second highest paid player. I mean, it's fucking ludicrous, and that's where they need to get things right. That's where he needs to get the right people in front and underneath him, Levy, and that's where he's got to have a bit of trust and sign the right players.
Talking about that though, quickly. Sorry, just talking about that. That's another issue. The wage structure. We are one of the lowest revenue wage to revenue ratios in the Premier League, like top.
Huge.
Like, established. It's like, even I think West Ham are even paying, like, I mean, to be fair, this is ridiculous. It's like 75% or something. But listen, we're like, when you're looking at Arsenal and that, and they're paying like 50% or whatever it is, or 55%, and we're paying like 40%. That's a big difference. And I think with Son leaving, I might be right in saying this. We only have 2 players that are on over 200K.
That is right. That's right. That's right. Over 100K.
That's mad. That is insane. Yeah.
Crazy.
But that needs to change as well, because if you want players to play for you, you've got to pay them the money. Like big players, you want to come play for you, you've got to pay them the money. Yeah,
we've spent the ninth most in the league. Now, I'm not saying that spending the most wins you, anymore, but it's obviously going to give you a good chance. It's just where we are. We've got 4-5 days to go, so I'm sure you'll hear from us on the socials in between that time. But in between that time as well,
depth worries me, Lee. Like the team that we've got and the subs that we've got are actually not bad, but I think when it comes to playing 2-3 games a week, or we get an injury to like one of our key players, that's when you're going to feel it. Like, and that's what we need. We need squad depth. We don't necessarily need a fucking game changer. We just need someone to come in who could fit into our first 11 and play there when needed. That's what we need.
And that's the thing, because now we are tonight, as we're recording this, Grimsby are 2-0 up against Man United, but we've got
you can see me keep shooting and look this way. I've got it on the screen over here. Fucking loving it.
That's a shit show right there, bloody hell. But that's happening tonight, the Carabao Cup draw. But tomorrow is the Champions League draw for the group stage. 8 games. that we're going to have. Obviously, now that the group stage got bigger, like we did in the Europa last year. 8 big games that we're going to have. That means twice a week across the winter into January. Big, exciting times. How do you look at the Carabao Cup now, Kev? In comparison to where we was last year when we hadn't won a trophy, and how excited are you about the Champions League?
Yeah, I mean, winning the Europa League, and obviously being there, and not even just being there, but any Spurs fan in general with tasting that gives me the hunger now to want to win anything we're in. I don't prioritize anything really. I mean, I still think the Champions League's a free hit, and we're probably going to have a decent little journey on that. But your domestic cups really are the ones that I think we should be looking at, and a nice steady league finish. But yeah, the cups for me, I want to go all the way in both domestic cups, and I want to go on the journey through each round and go to as many games as I can, and go on the journey with the team and watch us win something. So I'm really into the cups this year. I mean, I think European football qualification is bare minimum, but to get another cup and give all these sort of long-suffering Spurs fans like me and you another trophy in 2 years would be great for the club. And we're talking about setting that foundation of being winners, serial winners. We was unlucky not to win the Super Cup as well. Could have had another trophy. But yeah, I just think we should go all in now for domestic cups and yeah, things like the Champions League. Just enjoy the journey, enjoy your away days, enjoy watching it at home. And some of the games we're going to get to go down there and watch and see some of the players that we're going to watch. It's going to be great to take our kids to and stuff like that. But realistically, the English Cups is what I'm really, really excited about this year.
For sure. And TJ, in that sense, like Kev says, we got in the Champions League through winning Europa League, of course. Do you see it as a free hit? How far do you think we can go in it? Obviously, we haven't got the draw yet, but depending on that and the quality of our team, let's say, what are you thinking about when it comes to the Champions League this year?
Listen, I'm under no illusions. I don't think we're going to go and win it. Like PSG won it last year. I feel like we had them in that Super Cup for the sake of 5-6 minutes, right? So we can compete with the competition that we're going in. Do I sit here and think we're going to win it? No, but I fully expect us to qualify for the knockout stages. Like I expect us to be competing in the knockout stages in March, whenever it is, February, March. Like I would be disappointed if we didn't get through the league phase. So that's kind of my look on it. I'm kind of with Kev. I'm just like happy for the away days with it. I'm going to try and get to a couple this year. Kids are 2 next week, so might get a few passes now to get away. But yeah, listen, I'm just going to enjoy being in the Champions League again. Like, who knows, right? No one expected us. We were on our way out, apart from a late into Barca goal in the season when we got to the final, right? Like we needed Inter to draw, right? And we needed to get a result against Barcelona. Happened. Next thing, we're on this journey where all of a sudden we're in Madrid playing Liverpool for a Champions League trophy. It could happen again. There's like this. The format of the competition allows that to happen. Right?
Yeah, we rode up. Sometimes you need a bit of luck, didn't you, to get through rounds? And
massively.
We certainly did this year. But I think going in there with a bit of a free hit mentality and a bit of an underdog thing, I think might set us in good stead and take us further than we may think we'll go. But you like you're saying, you sort of never know. You go the way we played against PSG. You sort of, I think with Thomas Frank, I think you've got a chance of playing in different ways in different games and stuff like that. And obviously the latter stages are 2 legs, and the manager we've got at the moment, I would trust that would change our way and play against good sides in 2-legged games as well. So it is what it is. I mean, but like TJ said, you have to get minimum to get out of the group stage. But after that, I do think it's a bit of an underdog journey. And I mean, last time we had an underdog journey, we got to the fucking final of it. So you never know. But
yeah, exactly.
You never know. I think that would set us in good stead. There's no pressure there, so I think that might set us in good stead to go a bit further than people may think we will.
Well, you're the man, TJ, when it comes to our equations or our setups. Where are we in the seeding? I know there's something weird with the Carabao Cup as well, where they've got the seeded teams that come in like home and away. Can you give any insight onto what the draws are all about?
Yeah, so let's start with the Carabao. And the reason I'm doing this, I've got my phone, is because I actually put a load of percentages in there. I think you guys will find interesting.
I like that.
Just about our chances of who we can draw and all that. Right. So Carabao Cup third round, the way the draw works, because there's teams in Europe, and the problem is when they would play the Carabao Cup, UEFA. So essentially, it leaves no room in the calendar for the League Cup to take on a single week. So they have to split the week, right? Make sense?
Right.
You have to split the round over 2 weeks.
That's right.
The problem is that if you do a free draw when people aren't seeded, there's a chance that a team playing in Europe in the first week and a team playing in Europe in the second week could draw each other, and therefore there's no space for them to play. Right?
You can't. Right.
Make sense so far? All good?
Yeah. So they can't play each other in this round then.
Yeah, exactly. So what the Carabao Cup organisers have decided to do is to essentially give the European the teams competing in Europe a separate draw. So we can't draw anybody playing in the Champions League or Europa League this season. Conference League's different because they only play 6 games and they start later, right? So Palace are normal in this situation. But there's 8 teams, right? So all Premier League teams, all teams that qualified for Europe. So we won't draw Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Newcastle, Villa or Forest in the next round.
Right.
So that's your big hitters from last season, right? Like we're going to avoid them in this round. So how I've worked it out, right? Looking at the draw now, it's actually the percentage is going to be higher because Grimsby are beating United as well. But I assume that 16 teams would get through from lower leagues, which is currently the case. It's 17 at the moment with Grimsby. And then there'll be 8 teams that we could play from the Prem. Currently 7, given results. So that leaves us a 50% chance. No, a 66% chance, sorry, of playing a team from Championship or below. So this is me just doing like the maths, right? Yeah. And then this year, coincidentally, most of these teams are coming from League One or League Two. So it actually works out that it's almost a 50-50, just under. I think it's about 48% that we're gonna draw a team from League One or League Two in this round.
We'll take that.
And just to add a little bit more complexion to this, essentially, because the teams in Europe get drawn on their own, there's a separate draw that happened before this game, the Grimsby Man United game, to determine how many of those games would be home and away.
Yeah.
So there's 5 away shots and 3 home. So depending on when those teams get pulled out, they'll get allocated away or home. 5 of them are away, 3 of them are home. So there's a good chance. What I'm trying to say is, for all those that love their away days at random places, there's a highly likely chance that we're going to draw a League One team away, is what I'm trying to say.
We got Coventry away last year, didn't we, in round 3?
Who do you fancy, Tej? Who do you want? Where do you want to go?
Watching this, I want Grimsby, because obviously we got a friend in Grimsby.
I've been there. I've been to Blundell Park. Yeah.
We're gonna ask him if we can stay at his house after the game, or we're gonna come straight home. Not sure his wife and kids will have us there, but we get.
Yeah, there'll be a few of us as well, so I don't know. But
I mean, listen, I'm dying for Wrexham. I really want to go Wrexham, and ain't just because
I'll be in the Prem in a couple of years.
Yeah, true actually.
Did they go out or did they go through?
Oh, they're through. They're through
last night.
They're through.
They went through last night. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, another one. Sheffield Wednesday. I've always wanted to go to Hillsborough. Always. And my dad used to rave about it when I was a kid about saying it's a really good away ground to go to. And that was back then. So, but yeah, I'd like to go to Sheffield Wednesday just for the old school ground style, of going somewhere that's been there for a while. And ain't a fucking new stadium just yet.
There's another one, Kev, one that we all want, but we had him in the FA Cup at home, but we haven't played him away for a very long time.
Who's that?
Millwall.
Oh, fucking hell.
I would love Millwall away. It's one of the London grounds I've never done, like just because we never played it.
I don't know if I have to ask the missus about that one. I think she just about let me go out for the fucking home game in the cup, and even that didn't end up with that fucking story either. So this away one might be a bit tough, but I'll make sure I do my fucking will before I fucking leave, so the kids have got to say thanks. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
Lee, quickly on the Champions League.
that's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, the Champions League is a little bit simpler. So the way results are going, we're going to end up in pot 3. So we'll be top of pot 3. But I'll be honest, mate, it doesn't really make a fucking difference, right?
No,
so
you've got to play them in each. Yeah.
You've got to play 2 teams from each pot. One home,
That's
one
right.
away, right? It doesn't
That's
really
right.
matter what pot you're in because you still got to play 2 teams from each anyway.
Yeah.
You cannot play a team from the same country. That's the one thing. So we won't play any of our lot, basically.
Yeah.
Which means if you look at pot 1, PSG, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Dortmund, I think's in there. Like these are all like teams that we're guaranteed to play, right? So we're either going to play them home or away. So yeah, there's a few tasty fixtures, but yeah, the Champions League, don't overthink it. We're in pot 3, don't really mean shit. You've got to play 2 teams from each pot anyway. So yeah, that's the draw will be tomorrow. Like I say, 2 teams, 1 home, 1 away from each pot. But yeah, Rangers getting hammered.
Yeah, they're
Rangers
out.
getting hammered as well. Just looked 6-0 they've lost.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I was a bit gutted Celtic went out. I thought that one would have been a fucking cracker.
That's all right. We're going to do that one, Kev. We're doing the 9-hour flight to Kazakhstan, mate. The borders of Kazakhstan.
Big fur coat.
To beat him. Oh my god,
mate! You say fur coat? It's 32 degrees over there at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking won't be in January.
Let's hope it ain't January. I genuinely might go because let's be fair, I ain't going to Kazakhstan for anything else. So
no, I mean, I think that is for me. I don't know what everyone else is like. No, me and TJ like that, but I find them really like mysterious places. Obscure is the right word, not mysterious. Obscure places that you'll never ever dream of going to, but you can go to these places for a one time only, and it'd be with your fucking football pals and it's just like going on a bit of an adventure. I love all that. Yeah. I love going into the unknown of it all, and there's a lot of people out there like us, but yeah, I'd rather do that sometimes than go to a big famous ground that I've been to before, you know. So yeah, roll on the fucking Kazakhstans and the fucking Moldovans and all that. Can't wait.
Might be Bodo again.
I've never been Prague. Have to do Prague. I'm dying for Prague.
Bodo, yeah,
that's an option. That's an option. That's an option.
But you know, we've got the draw. We've talked about all the transfers. Obviously, what we've got to look at is Saturday. Another 3:00 at home, which is always lovely to see. It's Bournemouth, good side, good manager. You know, went to Anfield on the opening day and looked really good. Should have come away with something. This ain't going to be an easy game. TJ, predictions. What are you thinking?
I think this is like the Goldilocks kind of system. And the reason I say this is you've got your one extreme of Burnley, who are going to, have the low block, and you've got to break them down. And then you've got your City, who are going to attack you, and, they're going to come at you, and you've got to, like, really nullify them. And you've got your Bournemouth, who are somewhere in the middle. Last season, they played this really, like, attractive attacking football, which, if they do again this time, I think we'll play into our hands. But, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. But it's another one for the catalogue of Thomas Frank game plans, I think. And at home, playing them early in the season, I really do fancy us. I think we might concede on this one, but I am looking at a 3-1.
Nice, I'll take that. Kev, are you as optimistic?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're all on the fucking Thomas Frank fucking train at the moment, aren't we? So we got a one-way ticket to fucking success on that at the moment. But I mean, I just don't think you can knock us and I mean, I'll be very surprised if anyone doesn't think we'll get a victory from the way we've played for pre-season as well and into the season. I think you've got to be positive. I don't think it'll be as easy as we think. I'm like with Tej, they're no mugs. So a very attacking game, I think, quite end to end. But yeah, maybe going 2-1 up in the game and Thomas Frank maybe shutting the door a bit will get us to a victory. So I don't expect every game to be a hammering, but it's always interesting to see how we play against these sort of teams now, especially when we're at home, because he has his way of playing away from home against the good sides. But when we're at home, Burnley was different. That was a kind of a dead cert that we was going to sort of get a few goals there. But Bournemouth would be a bit tricky. We'd have to be quite clever in terms of going forward and getting back, because they have got a couple of dangerous players. That Semenyo is a really good footballer. Someone I thought we might have gone for a little while back. I really like him. But I'm with Tej. I fancy a 2-1 victory Spurs.
Agreed. Me too. I do think we get a nice 2-1 and Thomas will get the lads to shut them out. I mean, looking at the rest of us, the wider Spurs universe, I know we was talking last night in the chat about it, Tej, the Football League trophy. Tottenham under 21s lost on penalties to Bristol Rovers. I think they get a point, don't they? But then Bristol Rovers get an extra point for the penalties in that trophy because it's a group stage. But we were flying.
Yeah.
We had 3 goals in 16 minutes. One of them, Luca Williams-Barnett, who's making his name in the under-21s. But the game ended 4-4. We conceded 3 in the second half, which didn't help, and then got a red card. And it ended up being 5-4 to Bristol Rovers on penalties. In the under-18s, we played in the Premier League Cup today, which was Wednesday, 27th of August. If you're listening to this on demand, we drew 2-2. With Reading, the scorers Oliver Salter and Elijah Upson scoring a last-minute equaliser for us in that. So, a decent little start for the team. Again, it's all about seeing what these kind of players will come through. Williams-Barnett, the name keeps coming up. We've talked about him for 2 years now. Same names. Jamie Donnelly's been up and around with Stoke. They've not had the best start, nor have Oxford, where Lancashire's been, and Portsmouth, where we've got our Korean friend Yang Min Hoik on loan. None of them doing too well at the moment. I think Jamie Donnelly's probably been the strongest out of the 3, but obviously we're very early into the season, so we will keep highlighting who's making the most waves while they're on loan at different clubs. But yeah, look, I mean, it's one of those things where we want to get these players integrated in. Mikey Moore's up at Rangers. We're talking about a rough night tonight for them. There's no chance of them getting into the Champions League now, losing 6-0 at Bruges on the second leg. But let's see how we go with those. And like any podcast, it would not be complete without a quiz at the end. And TJ, the quiz has been a bit different this year. What we've done is we've sort of had different questions that ask you both, or when we've had it with Matty, Kev, and last week with Shane as well. Like, I'll give you a topic and I'll ask you to name a player. So for the first week, it was who played at number 7. Give me a famous number 7 in a Spurs shirt. Last week was talking about opening days. Today, we are going to talk about Tottenham goal scorers away at Manchester City in the Premier League era. So what I'm going to ask you both is to take turns and just give me a goal scorer, and we will keep going back and forth until one of you is wrong, and then we'll have a winner. So hopefully this lasts a bit longer than I think, because I know you boys, obviously, Kev, you had a fantastic time up at City Saturday. TJ, you said we've got their number. So have you got the number today? So who wants to go first, or should I flip a coin?
Go on, mate. You choose. It's fine.
All right, I will flip. I'll tell you what, Kev, you go first. You won last week, so you can go first on this one. Tell me, from 1992 to last Saturday, all in the Premier League era, name me a Spurs goal scorer at Man City. Can be Main Road or the Etihad.
We're not going to include the other day's game, are we? Not going to do
that.
Yeah.
You can do if you want. You keep going until you've got one. You say a wrong answer or you don't know.
All right, we'll have Johnson then.
Well, there we go. He started. Johnson.
Paulinho.
There you go. You both got that out of the way.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, yep.
Sonny.
Sonny is on the score, yep.
Kulusevski.
Kulusevski is on there.
Crouch,
famous goal in 2010.
Yeah. Great shout that. Freddie Canute.
Correct. 2004.
Ooh. Bale?
Bale has scored. Yes, Gareth Bale has scored at the Etihad.
Christian Eriksen.
Christian Eriksen, you say? Christian Eriksen has scored, yeah. Famous victory Yep. 2015.
Defoe.
Jermaine Defoe. I'm having a look. I cannot see Jermaine Defoe's name.
Fuck's sake.
Does anyone know? I mean, I've done the research. I cannot see Jermaine Defoe as a scorer at the Etihad. I am gonna double check while we're here. But
no, he might not have. He might not have.
I'm just gonna have a look one more time. Jermaine Defoe. No.
It's Keane. It's Keane.
Robbie Keane.
Because I was going to say Keane, but I went for Defoe.
Robbie Keane has, but it's Kevin had this. This is it's.
I swear to you, I was going to say Robbie Keane. I swear to you.
Oh no!
I was going to say Keane.
Once he goes Defoe,
I've got to go Keane.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would have done the same.
Can you say another, Kev?
To
win it.
What? See how far you can go? Is what you're gonna do?
No, this is it. Like, see if you can answer this one just to finish it off.
Right, hang on. Give me 2 secs. Hang on.
We've had Son. We've had Kane. We've had Bale. We've had Ericsson. We've had obviously Kulu.
I'll go for Pavlyuchenko. Now that
I cannot see. I am
fuck's sake.
It was hold on. I'm just gonna see 2-1 victory. No.
Bollocks.
He did not score at Manchester City. So we're back on. Teach.
Are we? Are we back on?
Yeah, because it's sudden death. You both got one wrong at the same time, like penalties.
Oh, okay. I thought he went first. I thought he won. But anyway, that's all right. No, I'll play him. Stefan Everson. He didn't score many, did he?
No, he didn't score. He didn't.
Kev's looking. He's on his phone.
No, I'm not. I'll go for Luka Modric.
Yeah.
Fucking
Luka Modric. Now, on my list, it's not coming up. But I'm going to double check again because he made 7. No, Luka Modric. We carry on.
Fuck's sake.
We carry on.
I feel like I'm just picking random ones now.
Some names that I'm surprised you missed.
I mean, we've got a good record up there as well.
Yeah.
Romero.
No pun intended.
Hey!
Bad joke. Kev, you got to do it this time.
I'm going to steal it, man. I'm going to go with Teddy Sheringham.
Of course, it's Teddy Sheringham. Yeah.
Oh, Teddy.
You've done it. Other ones, I'm surprised. Madison last year, Porro last year, Stephen Corker scored in a 2-1 defeat in 2012. Callum Davenport, Jason Dezelle, Ili Dimitrescu, Dele Alli, Sergei Rebrov, Tom Huddleston. Do you remember that?
I was going to say Rebrov instead of Everson. I've had terrible fucking coin tosses in my head here.
Yeah, Darren Bent, Poyet, Chris Perry, Simon Davis, Mido. Yeah,
Mido.
There was a few there. Mido, yeah.
The reason I said Canuti was, do you remember when he scored and they subbed him and he kicked the water bottle and his foot got stuck in it? You know, a big tray of Lucasades and his foot got fucking stuck in it. Man, he's all like, right, cunt.
Well, Kim, you've won again, mate.
Man United 2-1, lads. Buemo's just scored 15 minutes left.
I'm about 2 minutes behind. Cheers for that.
Yeah, I'm a minute behind.
Right.
Yeah, so,
pay for normal Sky, you tight cunt. You're on the fucking dodgy.
I'm on Sky, but it's on the stream.
Oh, right. Okay.
Same here. I'm
Apologies.
on 74.10. But
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm on.
Yep. Lads, been a great pod as always. Let's hope we have a good weekend and a positive result. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in. Tell everyone you know about Heart Now Here, the Spurs Fans Podcast. Keep this podcast growing. Like it, share it, subscribe, leave a comment. It really means the world to us. We'll be back next week, hopefully with 3 points, and the Thomas Frank engine keeps rolling on. This is the Heart Now Here, Spurs Fans Podcast. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeets.